Hey everybody, it's Abby with Creative at Home, and I'm here to paint another fun painting with you guys. Thanks for purchasing a kit with me, and if you haven't purchased a kit, love to work with you. Today's painting is really cute. It's this fun pop art cow, and it's called Amoozing. So let's get ready to paint, and we'll get going. All right, I'm going to switch over my camera to go over supplies, and we will get started on painting. All right, see you in a minute. All right, we are ready to go on this really cool painting, Amoozing. So I'm going to go over some supplies here. And the first thing that's going to be a little different on this, if you've done any of my other ones, is you may or may not have used graphite paper. And what this is it has a shiny side and a dull side, and you're going to put that on your canvas to transfer the template, this cute little picture of the cow, to our template, or to our canvas. Okay, so we have that. We have a template, and if you're doing this with a kit, your template came with you. If not, you can email me directly for the template at abby@creativeathomeart.com, and we'll figure out a way to get that to you. And then so that all came in the kit. We have the paint colors. So I have red paint, yellow, blue, black, and white, and we're going to mix all those together into different combos here in a bit. As far as brushes go, I have a large wash brush, 3/4 inch flat brush for our background. I have a 1/4 inch flat brush, a number 6 round brush, and a number 3 round brush for our detail work. Water cup and paper towel for rinsing and blotting, etc. Okay, so let's talk about getting this template onto the canvas here. So the first thing we're going to do, we want this cow to be kind of peeking out. So he's going to go on the bottom section of the canvas, with the legs kind of at the bottom here, and you may need to adjust it, but this will give us a good idea. So there is a shiny side and a dull side to graphite paper, and you want to have the shiny side towards the canvas, and that goes in between your cow and your painting. Okay, so we're gonna scoot him over here, and we're gonna go ahead and trace this on. So there's a couple of different ways you can do that. I'm just gonna use a pencil here and start drawing this cow right on here. You can do as much or as little of the detail as you want. There we go. Okay. Just kind of pay attention to what you're what sections you're doing, so that's kind of why I like to do use the pencil as opposed to just a piece of paper or a piece of stick or a stylus or anything. You can add a tail, but you can tell where you have drawn and where you haven't. Okay, so this is kind of a pop art cow, so we want it to be brighter and fun. Okay. Get that mouth. There we go. And I think we're pretty much there. So you want to kind of pull your thing back so you can see what you have drawn and what you don't have drawn before you pull it all the way off, because getting it to reattach in the exact same spot is hard. So looks like we've got everything we need here. So now we can set that template aside, be done with it for today. Get that out of the way. And you're also finished with your pencil. Okay, so now we have our cow. Let's see, if we turn this off, you can see it a little bit better. That's good. Okay, so now let's look at mixing some of our colors here. We are going to mix a decent amount of a turquoise color, and we're going to blend that in and start here. So we're going to start with some blue, and we're going to save a little bit of the blue because we're going to make some navy. But then the rest of our blue, we're going to want a decent amount of that because we're going to have to cover this canvas here. So we're also going to use some white. Okay, so we're going to grab our white paint and we're going to get a decent amount of that. Okay, and we're going to add a couple dots of that blue and a dot of yellow. So we want kind of a light bluish green color here. And we want enough of it to cover the back of the top half, well, everything but the star on this canvas here. Okay, so if you want it to be a little bit more blue, I think I want it to be a little bit more blue. I'm going to add some more blue in here and just mix that up. Okay. Okay. Oops, looks like we got something funky in there. Get that out of there. Open up a little bit more blue paint. Okay, so we're going to quit mixing for now. We'll come back to mix some more. But now we're going to start painting. So I'm going to use my large brush with my yellow paint here. And I'm going to start just by making a big star, okay? So I just want to kind of make it coming up like that, and it can go off like that. Okay, it's going to come behind this cow, and you can see how we'll still paint over it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and paint this all the way in. Okay. Get that. Okay. All right, and if you need to fix it, you can. We're gonna fix it with that turquoise. So, like I want to have it come. I'm gonna work on that section there a little bit because it's a little funky. Okay, so we've got our yellow star. So there's no right or wrong way to that star. You just kind of want to have the center kind of a little bit off center from the canvas, and then just have it come out like that. And you won't see this middle section obviously because that's going to be where your cow is, so it's not critical if you are doing that. Okay, so then we're going to start painting with our turquoise around this, and we want to do it while your paint is wet. And so that it blends, you want to kind of blend those edges together. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to paint this in this section, and then we want to kind of blend that yellow into that so it looks kind of fuzzy. Okay, so we'll keep going. And so I'm going to paint that section in, and then I'm going to kind of blend it together so that it blends it a little bit better. And if you need to, you can always add some more yellow. There we go. Okay. Okay, you can kind of brush it. Oops, wrong color. So here I'm definitely going to blend that in because I want it to be, I wanted to fix that star section there. Okay, and this is not a perfect star, obviously. And we're just going to paint this in. Alright, and I keep blending that. We might need a little bit more yellow up here because it dried. go. Just kind of going around that. There we go. Okay. There we go. Just keep blending it until you get kind of a look that you're happy with. And we'll keep working on that star with lots more details here as we get through this cow. This Amoozing cow. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to paint this last section in here. Okay, so as this is drying a little bit, you can go back through and kind of get it the way that you want. And then we're going to let it dry completely. Okay. There we go. Alright, now we're looking better here. More of the way that I like it. Doesn't happen overnight. Just kind of got to keep loving it, and eventually it'll get where you want it. Okay. Alright, so we are going to pause here and let it dry completely. So this is going to be our dry break for this painting. And I am going to go give it a good blow dry before we get started. And then we'll come on back. So you guys do the same. If you want to let it dry on its own, go for it. And if you want to give it a blow dry, you do that as well. So I'm going to pause the video. I'll come back when it's dry. You restart me when it's dry as well. Okay. Alright, back from the dry break, and we're ready to start painting in that cow. So I am going to just grab my pencil here and kind of sketch in some of the areas that may have been completely covered by the template here. That blue is a little thicker than okay, I'm just gonna kind of sketch those things, and if you want to try to get your template back out, you feel free. And you can just kind of draw some of this stuff back on, just because we're gonna start to draw some of, we're going to outline these with the colors that we mix here. And then, there we go. There we go. Okay. So we have the cow. There we go. Okay. So we have our buddy. And we're going to that down. Okay, so I'm gonna start mixing a couple of different colors for us to use here as we paint this cow. And the cow in pop art it's just going to be a series of different contrasting colors that kind of blend together and make it look really cool and kind of stand out. So excuse me. So I have some of the turquoise. If you feel like you need to make more turquoise, just scoot some of your white and your blue over into that and make a little bit more. Again, you're not going to need a ton, so scoot some more of that white over. And you can blend up some more. And if you need to add a teeny bit of white and a teeny bit of blue, do so, but don't do a lot because it's not gonna, those two colors will go, it'll get dark quickly. Okay, so we have our turquoise color. That one's good. We want to get some navy, so I'm gonna scoot into our blue. I'm just gonna scoot a little bit of black and start blending some navy into here. We want to keep our black, so just kind of mixing it in here between the two into a nice navy color. Alright, so there we have some navy. Then we want to have a hot pink, which is going to be our red. So we're going to move some of that red over. And we're going to mix it with just a little bit, just a little of the white. Okay, just want to kind of turn that into a hot pink. Okay. And then we want to do the opposite with a light pink. So we're actually going to, we did a little bit of white and mostly red there. And we're going to take most of our white and just mix a little bit of red in there. And that'll give us the light pink. Okay. Okay, and you might need, I feel like I just want a little bit pinker, brighter pink, kind of a bubblegum pink. There we go. And maybe add just a little bit more of that white into our hot pink. Lighten it up just a little. Okay. Alright, so those are our colors that we're going to start using to build our pop art cow. Okay, so you can see there's different types of blue, different kinds of pink, then we're going to throw in some of that yellow there. And that's our color palette for this one. Okay, so in order to do that, get my knife cleaned off here. We're going to pull the brush that is flat but skinny, so the 1/4 inch black brush, and we can also use this the larger of the two round brushes that we have in order to kind of get thicker and thinner lines. So I'm going to start with this turquoise color that we were using already, and I'm just gonna start tracing this along the lines, and I'm going to stay inside the lines, okay? So just kind of trace in there. Okay. Go. And then just kind of go down the legs. Just kind of go out, and we're just going to start building this circular motion and just kind of start tracing. Not every line, but the decent amounts of them. Side that eye. Okay. And so you can see we're just kind of starting to add some dimension to this cow. Okay. And then like we're kind of just tracing certain sections, not all the sections, right? So here's just the bottom. This is one side of the leg. And just kind of go through there. Okay. And then we're going to use this navy color, and we're going to trace kind of above it, but next to these lines that we used. Okay. Just kind of keep going. There. Painting. Okay. There we go. So you can see we're starting to get, you can see the cow. And it's starting to kind of really be cool in the way that it stands out. Okay, and we're just going to kind of go through and fill this in. Okay, so now we're going to switch over to a little bit of white. Okay, and maybe use the smaller brush here. And just kind of bring that in here. Okay. All right. I'm just going to keep layering this. And if it gets too messy, rinse that brush out. Okay. All right. So now we have this cow there, and we're going to switch over to the hot pink. Okay, so that darker color, and do the same thing. So just kind of, we're not blending these colors together. We want them to be different and kind of pop. Okay. That. Just kind of keep going through. Okay. And just keep going. Okay, and then we'll switch into that pink color, the light pink. Okay. And just keep going there. Alright. Alright. And we're just gonna keep going in here. And then we're gonna start blending in some more of the white. Okay. And you can, there we go. Alright, just kind of make it, keep layering those colors until you're comfortable. You can add some more white around here. I feel like we need some more pink, dark pink. In there so it stands out a little bit, and then we can come back with some navy. Underneath here, and just kind of see where you need some color and what you think, and we'll end up outlining this. So if you want to blend it all together, white's kind of a good color to blend some of this stuff together. Okay. And then you can keep layering it. There we go. Go back through with those dark colors too. There we go. I think it needs more. There we go. Now we're getting there. Alright, and then you can yep. Alright, so we're just gonna keep going here. I like this hot pink the best, so that's what I'm going to add some more accents of, and then I can add other things into that as I decide to. And then we'll outline. Okay. Alright. Just kind of keep working this here. And every time I do this one, it comes out differently. So you just kind of have to see how the colors speak to you, and how you want it to go that day. Like today I feel like it's more pink. Next time I do it, it might be more navy. You can blue up, make that turquoise just a little bit darker if you want. There we go. Alright. So I think my cow is kind of where we're gonna be here. I might add a little bit of an eye. And I'm gonna write that in when I start outlining them. But once you get your cow the way you want it, we're gonna go back up to some of our background here and work on making that kind of interesting and cool. So I'm gonna start with our detail brush here, and we're gonna start adding in each of these flat turquoise sections just some curls and interest with the white. And I'm going to kind of, you can brush them up like this and do a dry brush technique here, which means that we don't have a lot of paint on our brush. So you can see I'm almost just kind of gives it this kind of poppy color, and I'm just kind of fanning that out with very little paint. So I'll do it again, little tiny dot of paint, and I'm just kind of starting there, and then I'm fanning it out, and then I'm going to keep fanning it on the dry paint just until it keeps spreading and spreading and spreading and spreading, and it'll give it that kind of bright star kind of look here. Okay, and you can do the same thing down here. Okay. I'm gonna add some of these curls. Flick this out here. Okay. Alright, so now I'm gonna add some dots and some curls. And I can do a curl and a couple dots. Something like these, just some wispies. Okay, just to add some interest. Like that. Okay. Alright, so now we have those details, and if you want to add some dots to the background, you can use the back of your brush and dip it in your white here. Like that. Add some fun to that background. Right? Want it to be good and dry when you do some of that stuff. Couple per section here. There we go. Alright, and then I'm going to take my smaller brush here and this hot pink, and I'm going to get some hot pink, my smallest round brush, and I'm going to get some hot pink, and I want to roll that brush in my paper towel, okay, so I can get this. I'm going to show you on the yellow. There we go. This nice point, okay? And so what I'm going to do is this edge around the stars where it's a straight line and then a dot, and you can use the back again, and then some details like that. So I'm just going to put some accent lines. I'm going to use the brush part first, and then we can add the dots. Okay, and for this one, I'm going to flip this around here so that I can like that. Okay. And just keep putting these dashed lines on there. The lighter the touch, the finer the line, and there's no exact science to it. No right amount of lines, kind of depends on your star. Okay, so we have that, and then I'm just going to take the same thing, the hard end of my brush in that hot pink, and put dots in between the dashes. Like that. And just to add some fun to the edge of the star, this is a exciting, kind of cool painting. Go. Alright, I think we got all that. Alright, so now we're going to rinse out that brush we just did all the pink outlining with. And I'm going to do the same dry brushing technique inside the star with some of this turquoise that I have. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit on my brush. Okay, and then I'm going to brush some of it off, and I just want to kind of go on the inside of that star like that. Okay, brush that off. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now last time we're going to rinse this brush out, and then we're going to start outlining this cow. So the cow outline you can do with your brush, you can also do with your with a Sharpie or a paint marker. So I'll show you this. So we're going to use black paint for it, and the only section we're going to outline is this cow. So I'm just going to start by outlining around. Okay, and I'm not using much paint at all. Okay, and pulling is easier than pushing. Okay, so you can head down here. Get that tail out. And we can add inside of that ear. Okay. And then do the body. So you can see how it's starting to come together. Get those legs. And it'll start to pop a little bit. Once you have that. And you can get your template out if it is a little stressful. Just be careful because your dots up here may not be as dry as you'd like. So if you go over right. Okay. There we go. And see how it's really starting to it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, here comes the, you can really see how this outlining helps you. I think it looks way cooler. Okay. Alright, so now I have left this eye and okay. Alright, I can add a little bit more of the tail. Okay, so now you can see that our cow is really starting to pop. And there we go. Alright. So we have the Amoozing pop art cow. Okay, and it's really kind of a cool one because it's just a bunch of different lines of colors that you don't think are going to blend well together, and then all of a sudden they start to really start looking cool and fun and funky. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm going to go ahead and sign my artwork there at the bottom. I hope you do too. And I'm so glad you decided to paint with me. You can check out all my other kits and or activities at my website, creativeathomeart.com, or you can follow me on social on Facebook and Instagram at creativeathomeart as well. I use the hashtag creativeathomeart in addition. So if you share your artwork there, I will see it that way. So hopefully I get to paint with you again, and look forward to it. Okay, thanks you, and don't forget to stay creative.